What's up, family? I'm Juan Castillo, and when I'm on social media, my favorite show to watch is the Don't Shoot the Messenger weekly podcast. Chris G, Professional Sutton, Rucker Report delivers sports the way it's supposed to be, real and authentic. So get ready to be entertained. My boys are ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, the Rucker Report, a.k.a. Jerry.
Ready? This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
This is Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
X about me, X about me.
With Professional Sutton.
You already know.
Chris G.
My homie.
And the Rucker Report.
My family, what up? They for real.
All straight with no chaser.
Let the games begin.
Let's go. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Yes. It is about that time. Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, the Rucker Report, Jersey.
Fellas, it's always a blessing to see y'all and, in a physical form. Yesterday, we had a great time, man, and went out to eat. You know what I mean? So I definitely appreciate my brother. So this is so dope, man. And I know the COVID has done a lot of negative stuff, but to be able to still vibe with my brother every week and also the people that listen, I just want to let you know I appreciate y'all. Bro, I'm going to give you that rematch again, man. I was a little nervous yesterday because I had to take my dub and go, man. Aaron, it is on for you. You're going to have a great show. We're going to be talking about young cats and the Cam Newton situation. So you're going to love this. You know what I mean? Aaron's going to love this. Aaron don't watch basketball after 1996. So there's something that he's going to love and enjoy. But speaking of loving and enjoying, we have to give a shout out to, let me get this over here. Let me get Aaron comment out of here. Got to give a shout out to our sponsor, Cassandra Roach at Cassandra Roach Realty. That's Caldwell Banker Realty. I'm losing it here. I'm losing it here today. Cassandra Roach. Yes, if you want a home, if you would like to start your family out in a good situation, again, we're getting that STEMI. Chris, you can correct me soon. People probably got the income tax. Look into getting your family in a comfortable, affordable home. And why not buy black? Why not go with someone who you can trust? That's Cassandra Roach at 475-201-7435. Yes, that's 475-201-7435. Tell her that the people from Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast sent you, and that's going to be great. Also, I would like to give a shout out to my uncle. Let me see. I got it all over the place. Authentic Brand Clothing. Yes, my Uncle Oz. Shouts out to him, man. He in North Carolina. You can check him out on Facebook. You can check him out on Instagram. He's 50 years old. He looked like he's 21. Authentic Clothing Brand. Holla at him. He got you. Take care of all your needs. Fellas, anything that y'all want to say or plug, you know what I mean? I try to put my people on, man. Anybody I want to shout out real quick? I already know what Chris gonna say. Ruck, I'm gonna ask you. Anybody you want to shout out?
I mean, spring is coming soon, so you gotta shout out Inspire Rentals, right?
Do
yes, get that up there. Get your portable toilet rental needs when you need it, people. Everybody getting this vaccine. Like Quet said, that STEMI coming. You're gonna have some people over the crib. Don't have them in your house. Have them outside, and make sure you get that porta potty that you need from Inspired Rentals.
That's at 475-221-1598. Or also, you can email MJEMJAY721 at iCloud.com. Yes.
I'm gonna get the info for y'all later, but y'all gotta also check out Lux Lather.
Ooh,
Lux Lather. That's for all your bathing needs, people. And please, I hope we taking baths in this pandemic. Not one, but more than one. But when you get out, make sure you get that Lux Lather. And of course, you can't forget hair brew products, man. Get brewed up, man. for the ladies, all them natural hair needs. Listen, I got you. We're gonna get the information up for y'all so y'all can get some good products from some black-owned businesses. You heard? Black-owned.
Also, I want to thank our first, and they'll always be family, everyone at 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to thank Juan, Wanda, Earn, Benicia B, Candy, everybody over there, Jerry Green, everybody at 94.3, still my family to this day. You know what I mean? And that's still our family, so we gotta shout them out. We got Uncle Juan on the check-in.
Shout out to the OG
Juan, man. You know what I mean? He always looked out for us, so he gonna like this show. So, Aaron wanted to say, he said Rucker, he says South Harrison Street. You don't know about that.
You know what it is, yo. South Harrison, East Orange, Clinton Ave. we know it. We know what's going on. We know.
Avon Street, all that. So, Chris, we didn't get to talk about it, the Cam Newton situation, and I kind of wanted to dive into it because I think it's really prevalent. Because Ruck and I, we was watching my nephew play. Shouts out to West Haven, and Juan said shouts out to the Knicks. We was watching them play yesterday, and just the brand of basketball. And just the way these younger cats are playing, just the whole mindset. If you don't know what happened, Cam Newton, he had a camp. Camp was free, correct? Young man kind of challenged Cam. This is the era of clout chasing. Someone say something, you kind of want to get on because that's what happened. You say something, it go viral, boom. Everything works in your favor. Negatively, but we live in an era where negative publicity is better than none. And that's how a lot of people see it. So he said something a while about Cam Newton. Cam Newton just kept saying, but where's your dad at? Where's your dad at? You know what I mean? But what did you do? So Cam Newton kind of thought he was just joking. Cam Newton was kind of rocking with it. And he's like, oh, you stink. Cam Newton was like, yo, no, I don't. But where your father at?
He didn't say that.
Who? Cam?
He said the kid said your ass.
Okay.
That's what the kid said.
Get to it, Chris.
No,
Chris.
Chris, I was trying to be good today.
No. Fuck that little nigga. He said your ass.
Okay.
That's what he said.
So y'all heard what Chris said. So the little boy said that. And I want to get y'all take on it because I got my take on it as a coach, as a parent. But I do want to talk about that because you see that a lot on the sideline. Like these young kids, they go crazy. I remember a few years ago when Quiddy was wrestling and he kind of stormed off because he lost. And his coach was like, I said, yo, get him. Well, I didn't want to say, I said, listen, I told the coach, listen, when he's with you, that's your son. If he get out of line, you do what you got to do. Well, the other parents, listen, they don't pay my bills. The other parents, they don't live with me. If you got to jack my son up because you want him to be better, then so be it. Our coach did to us, some little other, but you got to do it now, or he going to think that this is what you do in life. You could just storm off and everybody can do what they want to do. But I got a perspective from the young man perspective, possibly. Again, I'm just devil advocating here. And what I saw and what I think. But I do want to get y'all take on it. And everyone that's in the chat, please dive in. What we're talking about is the youth. Do the youth really respect sports? How is that happening? You know what I mean? And who's to blame? So, Ruck, I'll start with you, good brother. What
go ahead. We're going to Chris G first on this because I know I need the smoke. So we starting right with the smoke. So we're going to Chris first.
Yes, you know what? Yes, we do, because then it's going to get medium and I'll be far into the spectrum. So go ahead, Chris.
Well, that little dude, I can't even remember his name. They had his name out there. And I'll say where I feel bad for him is, this is going to follow him for a long time.
Which he shouldn't.
No, he should. He deserve it. Let me tell you something. Once you start acting grown, you got to deal with them grown man consequences.
Okay, go ahead.
He wanted to. First of all, what's wrong with the youth in sports is they don't respect the OGs. See, when we was growing up, we respected the OGs. Matter of fact, I took my son to get a haircut last week, and I took it to my boy A White over there at Heads Up. Shout out to everybody and everybody doing anything over there.
A White.
I still look at A White as my OG.
Word.
Because when I came in to to playing high school football for the first time, he was a senior. I was a freshman. That was my OG. I still look like Kenny Fo. I still look at Kenny Fofo as my OG. You
Word.
know what I mean? Because I wasn't up to speed. You know what I mean? When I came in, these are the dudes that got me up to speed. So you respect the people that was in front of you that showed you the game. Fast forward to Cam and this young man. This young man calling Cam ass, basing everything off of how we played last year. That's a fair assessment off of how Cam played last year. I'm not gonna lie, but we talking about an overall career of Cam Newton. That's what we're talking about. And you cannot call an NFL MVP, because let me tell you something. You don't mistakenly win an NFL MVP. You talking about a Heisman winner, a national championship winner. We talking about leading what was his Carolina Panthers that year, 15-1?
Yeah.
All the way to the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 50 against Peyton Manning and them Broncos. That's what Cam Newton did. So the respect that you always need to show Cam Newton. Oh, also, let's not gloss over the fact of the free camp, the camp that you're in. You're in his camp.
How
But
much
instead-
was that, Chris? How much
That was free. That
Okay.
was $3.99. That was $3.99, right? So instead of you being there and getting to learn, listen, we all know that Cam, I still think Cam can play in the NFL. I haven't given up on that. But Cam is obviously on the down of his career in the NFL. But he's accomplished things that you probably won't ever accomplish. I mean, like, you're talking about Cam Newton, no matter what you think about him, Cam Newton, when you think about the history of football, he's going to be one of the greatest players that ever played. He's not the greatest, of course he's not. But when you line up his accomplishments, there's not even going to be a half of 1% that's going to accomplish the things that Cam Newton has accomplished as a football player. So you need to always show that man respect. That's as an athlete. Now, as a boy to a man, why are you talking to a grown man like that? That's why he said, yo, where's your father at? BC, because he really wanted to come at him. Like any older dude when a young kid is talking to him, because what you really want to say is, you little punk, I will knock your lights out. That's what you want to say, but you can't say that. Can't say that. That's not culture, and you shouldn't do that. That's why, where your father at, man? Get your father over here so I could talk to him greasy like I want to talk to you. Because that's what you really, and as that boy's father, is probably like, man, why you got me caught up in this 6'5", 250-pound man looking for me? I can't hear you, Ruck. Ruck, I can't hear you. Where you go?
I said, yo, you want some of this? No.
Exactly. So as that young kid's father, first of all, I'm gonna be upset for the fact that you talking to another grown man like that. Second of all, I'm gonna be like, why you got this other big ass grown man looking for me? I didn't wake up this morning looking for smoke for Cam Newton. Yo, just no respect, man. These young kids, man, they don't got none of it. And yo, that's the problem it's a problem in sports. It's a problem in the black community. It's a problem all around the world right now. These young kids don't got no respect for their OGs. At the very least, when you're being competitive, that's one thing. You know what I mean? That's all in the realms of being competitive. But just Cam Newton walking by and you just calling him ass? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Ruck, I want to get your take on it because, again, I got my take on it. But I'm going to let you go. And then I have my take on what I've seen. Well, let me say on what I think should be pointed out, because there are a lot. You know, again, the kid was disrespectful. I'm not even going to lie to you on that one. But it's just some things that I kind of want to look at it from a different perspective. But I'll let you go, Ruck.
So I take it just like Chris takes it, right? Here's the thing. Cam, for what he has done, even given last year's performance, is nowhere near ass, right? As he said. No, Steven C., no, the kid was not right, because here's the thing. At no point has any kid been able to go to a free camp, get some exposure, be in an environment that he can learn from professionals, and you just go, you ass, right? Here, we take it even to a more basic point. If you look at the 15th man on the roster in the NBA, right? You could really go and you could try to have a conversation and say that that man is trash because you're on the bench. You're number 15 out of 15, right? But guess what? He's 15 out of how many kids that try to play basketball professionally and make it to the NBA? It has an NBA job and an NBA contract. So there's no realm that you can really cross that line because at the end of the day, from the perspective that it needs to be looked at first, you're a young man talking to a grown man. That's one. You're an amateur talking to a professional. That's two. You're in high school as opposed to somebody that's been in the NFL for over 10 years and list all the accolades that Christians listed. Where do you think that that's appropriate that you can come out your mouth like that? The thing that upset me about it is that not only is that just typical of the youth today, because again, you can look at the environment being that you can look at what he tried to say in his apology. His competitive zeal took over him. You can say the people around him kind of gassed him up. You say all of that, right? But you know what you won't see? You will never see a kid like that talk to Peyton Manning and Drew Brees like that, or Tom Brady like that. You won't see a kid right now go to Drew Brees and say, listen, after last year, you ass. You won't see him go to Peyton Manning after his last year in Denver, even though they won the Super Bowl and said, yo, Peyton, you ass. Because if anything, the hue, if you catch my drift, and I know Chris does, dictates a different respect. You know what I'm saying? So for where that kid was and what he did, no, you way out of pocket. I don't. And here's the thing: I remember a time when I was working in Atlanta, I ran into Jacques Vaughn. Like, I think Jacques Vaughn is doodle. I don't put him on the NBA game or none of that stuff. But you know what? I got respect for him because at that time he had been in the league for over 10 years. Somewhere I wanted to be one of the coach. Right? So there's a line. You can't do that. You can't at any point cross that line. And for that young man to think that it was appropriate, even for the little apology that he gave after, you got to understand the embarrassment it costs on every level. And it doesn't just cost you an opportunity, because if people look further into the clip, there was another part of the clip where Cam was actually talking to the young man again in front of his coach. You think his coach ain't mad that this young boy came out his mouth? And what that could potentially cost him? So again, there's levels to this. And if you just think that the only level is because Cam played poorly, that you can't judge him, you're missing the whole show. But don't miss this one. Don't shoot the messenger. We here. Where Quack go, man? He jumping in and out.
I'm here. My bad, man. My internet been acting up. It's been acting. Y'all can hear me good?
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can hear you good.
We got you.
It was a bit of a delay with some of the stuff that Ruck was saying.
Yeah.
I hope everybody got the
Me
gist
too.
of that.
Okay.
You know what? That was my internet. I apologize.
Oh, that was your internet?
That was all my internet. So
Fix it, Jesus. Now listen,
Yeah.
I wanna just piggyback on some of those things he was saying, because I agree with him wholeheartedly. But especially when he's saying, "Yo, they wouldn't talk to Drew Brees like that after his last year. They wouldn't talk to Peyton Manning like that after his last year." And just to comment on Stephen C, like I said earlier when I was making the first statement about it, you can have that Cam wasn't great last year, and you could say he was ass last year, right? That's a conversation you can have, but that's not all that young man said. And first and foremost, you do not talk a kid, what was it, like a 16-year-old, 17-year-old kid, do not need to be talking to a 30-plus-year-old man like that. Well, no matter if he was trash last year or not, because not only did he say he was ass, he said, "Yo, you don't got a job and you're gonna be poor." Don't forget to put those three things when Stephen C capping for this young man, talking about, it was true. So is it also true that Cam is poor? Like, what part of the game is it? What part of the game is it that a young man need to be talking to an adult like that?
Right. So
an adult that's giving you an opportunity
for
that
free.
you might not be able to get for free in your opportunity, because Cam don't have to do that, right? Cam do a lot of actual. If you listen to him on the All the Smoke podcast, they had a great podcast with Cam and Brandon and Fred Taylor and Ocho Cinco. They had a great podcast that they had with Cam up there.
But
Cam do a lot of.
But that's not All the Smoke.
I mean, not All the Smoke.
I
am
am
athlete.
Yes,
I
that
am
was
athlete. I'm sorry.
great episode.
And but Cam do a lot of things for the youth that he don't even glorify and put out there like that. I'm never going to get on this kid's side. He was right. Listen, me and Steven C on this show disagree about a lot. That part is out of bounds. I'm not being on this little kid's side for disrespecting a grown man. Get out of here.
No, I think that
not Steven C. That kid, get out of here.
Right. I think that the kid was wrong. Right. But I do want to look at the other rounds and perspective of everything that's going on. Right. Because I know now, Chris. Now you said that this is going to follow the kid, which it shouldn't. Okay, it shouldn't. And here's why. You literally have white athletes who damn near killed, committed sexual assaults, and guess what happened? Oh, they're still being kids.
Mm-hmm.
What I saw is when he was talking to this kid on the second video, Cam said, well, where you from? He said, I'm from the 215. That's the Philly area, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct if I'm wrong. I seen that as, okay, this kid is young. He thought, let me go and try to make my bones and look cool because that's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to do this because I want people to see that I'm not scared. But what happened with this kid was it backfired on him. Totally backfired on him. Because once it came out, he looked like a fool. He looked like a straight fool.
Wait, I'm sorry. Quick, can I just ask a question to you?
What's up?
So you said your perspective is he was trying to make his bones by going at Cam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, let me finish. Listen, I'm not debating what you're saying. I'm just getting a different perspective, and I just want people to fight me again.
I understand that the reason that I asked that question is because with how I grew up, which I know is very different from how this kid grew up.
Right.
But you make your bones by going at the top player.
Wait, I know, but watch this though. Watch this, right? So now you gotta remember when we came up, and Aaron could testify to this because he played ball. If you weren't good to play in Gulf Street, you're not playing in Gulf Street.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
If you were not good to play in Bassett Street Park, you're not playing in Bassett Street Park. That's it.
True.
But what this era is, if I give you a mixtape, if I say something crazy, outlandish, guess what? You're going to look at me more than you're going to look at Chris G, who just rushed for 2,000 yards and who could have rushed for more because I got your attention. You see what I'm saying? In this generation, it's about Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Facts.
It's about Megan Thee Stallion talking crazy. Although I respect her art because she can't rap, but it's about what have you done for me lately? What do I need to say? That's
we ain't about to get up here disrespecting Megan Thee Stallion, all right?
No. Wait. Listen, right? So now Megan Thee Stallion. So again, I like Megan. So let me reel that back, right? So when I saw it, I said, damn, I hope this kid does not get blackballed for the rest of his life and he doesn't deserve it because you know why? He was a kid doing kid shit.
That's true.
Right? Because if you think about it, we know a lot of people who come from broken homes when you play with Chris, and this is their only chance on the field in basketball, Ruck, you know, too, for them to have some type of love. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people on my football team, Chris can vouch for it, these dudes are straight up killers. Had it not been for football, they would have been locked up. Ruck, you can say the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same.
Especially in Jersey. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, especially in Jersey. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s when Ruck was growing up.
Yeah.
So,
cocaine era.
Right.
Go ahead.
So I seen all that and I said, I had to pump my brakes. I said, yo, this kid disrespectful. I said, but again, this is a different time because our time, it was like, yo, you don't do that. Yo, listen, let me highlight you, youngin. And as a youngin, like you said, Chris, you're gonna listen. when that OG talks, you're gonna listen. But in this generation, we are so pushed by the culture of social media that we got people like Jelly Fam. No disrespect to them, but these dudes are doing finger rolls and they got college scholarships because they just was doing a little bit of this. So this kid in this generation, they know, and it's been pushed by adults, and I'll say to us to some degree, not all of us, some degree. Whatever you do that's wild, if I'm entertained by it, then I'm gonna rock with you. And this kid know that it's been someone else who's on social media that said something crazy, and they got what they wanted. So now let me bring it all home. So now I just want us to teach this kid as well as other young black, men and people of color, like, yo, this is not how we do things. Because I guarantee you, this is going to follow this kid. You know what I'm saying? Because if this kid, and people was getting on him, which they should have, they went a whole left.
Listen, to a degree, like he needs to be got on to a degree, but at some point you also got to add into the fact that he's a kid.
I don't want
you can't go hellfire and brimstone on him.
Yes,
but you're gonna have to show him proof now, young man.
And hold on, wait. And here's my point, right? I want this kid to show and prove, but I also want us to help and teach this kid, because if this kid feels so ostracized that this kid don't want to play sports, just think about the people that's going to be affected. This kid might say, yo, I'm going to start robbing. I'm going to start killing. Because now my ego is in the way now. Because y'all disrespect me. So guess what? Anybody in Philly that's talking junk, they're going to get it. But sports was always that way for us to escape the harsh realities of where we came from. And I just want people to keep that in mind. Can you have an opinion about sports figures? Yes, you can, because that's why we have our podcast, because we have our opinion. But I also want the younger generation to understand it's a time and a place to say these things. And especially when somebody's helping you. Because you would never say to your coach, oh, coach, get the F out of here. You're not better than coach. Bam, 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 bam. So this is what it's about. And that was my point. Like, let's continue to teach. Now, I do want to get to some of these comments because it's been crazy in this chat. So
Steven C he is on one today.
So I want
a bad one. I want to get one I agree with. Yeah, I don't agree with the Megan Thee Stallion, bringing Megan Thee Stallion into the show. I would have won that one.
Okay.
I would have won that one.
Okay. But I want to give a shout out to my man Josh. He said he tried to look cool talking about the kid. Aaron said that's not part of the game. Chris on point. Steven C said Cam shouldn't do it. He doesn't have it anymore.
All right, hold on. Stop right there. Bring that one back. That's the one. That's the one I had a problem with. First of all, Cam ain't the only counselor at the Cam camp. He got multiple quarterback coaches and other coaches at a camp that he's facilitating to get young kids. Those 7-on-7 camps, what they do is they give coaches can get a look at certain kids that they might not otherwise get a look at. Mm-hmm. It's an opportunity. Cam ain't back here showing people how to read defense in a 5-step drop. I don't even know if Cam is a coach like that. But
no, he's coaching his kids.
I know he's coaching his kids, but I'm just talking about the whole camp like that. Yeah. Like, even if you go to the Peyton Manning camp, Peyton Manning ain't coaching all other kids. You know what I mean? And, right. There's DBs, running backs. There's a whole bunch of – it's a skill position camp. You know what I mean? So it's a bunch of people with a bunch of different skills there and coaches from other colleges who could just get a look at a kid that they might not often be able to get a look at. And then go ahead, let's do some research on this kid. So he shouldn't stop doing the camp because he's not elite anymore. That I don't get that reference. With all of that being said, so let's say Cam was the worst quarterback in the league last year, which he wasn't. They did a breakdown. I think Cam was like the number 19 quarterback in the whole NFL last year. That's below average, because 15, 16 would be somewhere in the middle of the road. Anything below that is below average, but it was above a lot of starters. It was above Carson Wentz.
Yeah, a lot.
It was above a lot of other starters. But let's just say he was the worst quarterback last year. Let's give him that. It still don't give this kid the right to talk to a grown man like that. That's the part I don't understand what Steven C don't see. So let's say Kim is the worst person in the world. Let's say that. Let me give you that. I still don't need a kid talking to an adult like that. There's nothing Stephen C can say to make me get on this kid's side. Oh, well, he was right. No, he wasn't right. You a kid, stay in a kid's place.
Hold on, wait.
Would Ken would have been right? Would Ken would have been wrong if he would have punched him in the face and knocked his teeth out? Then the kid could have been right.
Yeah.
Yo, I want to say this real quick. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you say it real quick, but I do want to get to our sponsor. I do want to give our sponsor.
I just wanted to say this real quick to Chris's point. Even if we take the kid and the grown man portion out of it, even if you feel, Stephen C, that Cam was ass last year, yes, he still deserves respect because from the perspective of the kid as an amateur to somebody as a professional, yes, you need to respect that. Yes, I also do give Kwame Brown the respect because at the end of the day, who else can say that he was the number one pick out of high school? Kobe can't say that. Kevin Garnett couldn't say that.
Michael Jordan.
Kwame Brown can say that. And he can say that he was in the league for over 10 years. So, yes, I may think he's a bad basketball player, but in terms of reaching the highest level, he did it in a fashion that a lot of people, more than 1 out of 3 in your normal community, will never see.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
hold on. Compared to what? Compared to Kwame Brown is bad compared to what? Elite Hall of Fame NBA players or dudes at Gulf Street?
Exactly. Because dudes at Gulf Street, he giving that work.
Okay, check it out. Okay, before we talk about work, we definitely want to get y'all some work, and we want everyone to be in a good position. That's why you have to hit up Cassandra Roach at Cassandra Roach and Caldwell Banker Realty. She's over there on Woodbridge, Connecticut, 270 Amity Road, 475-201-7435. But again, tell her that the people from Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast sent you, and I guarantee she will get you and your family the dream that you want. And also, while we are on this subject of sending our sponsors and shout out, like Ruck said, we are coming to the end. I don't know end, but pandemic is soon to be slowing up. Hopefully, why not get yourself a good porta potty for your family? Be safe, cautious, and if you would like that, why not give the good people at Myra J 475-221-1598 a call. Get your porta potty. Keep you and your family safe during these times. Also, we cannot forget our main people, our sponsors who we love. 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Yes, shouts out to Juan Castillo, who was on the check-in with us today. It's a great show. It's a great show. Listen, everyone who is talking, I love it. It's a lot going on in the chat. I'm going to read some of these chats because we got people who are listening to us and they're like, what's going on? So I'm going to read a few. Let me read Stephen C. Stephen C said, teach the kids what? This is Generation X, Y, Z. It's over. Aaron said he is a kid. Kids who are not held accountable now will probably have issues later regarding how life works and operates. Just my honest opinion. We already got to the subject about Kwame Brown. Raymond B. Bennett, my dude out of New York, what's good, baby? He said, disrespect is disrespect. We also must tell our youth that there are two sets of rules. I know killers and gangsters who are not disrespectful. Yes, that's true. We must have programs where we work with young people and teach them. That's what we're going to talk about. My man Tommy Guns, he said, knuckleheads.
Tommy.
It is what it is. That's a sad reality. Stephen C. also going on to say Peyton Manning and Cam Newton are not the same person, and that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. My boy Henny Bub, he said
Henny in the house.
He said D-Ruck looked like he sells subs on Long Wharf.
You say like you what?
Sells subs on Long Wharf. And
heard you, Henny, heard you.
You know what I mean? And Aaron also said, Stephen C., why shouldn't Kwame Brown be respected as a grown man? Exactly. We got some.
I just don't understand Steven's point of.
Yeah, I don't.
So because Cam isn't the quarterback that he likes or thinks was good. I don't know why you don't. I mean, he's definitely not elite anymore, but he's still a NFL quarterback.
He is an adult. He's an adult.
But no. He said that he's
okay.
Right. He said that that he said he shouldn't talk to an adult like that. But why he thinks Cam shouldn't have a camp? Why is it a bad thing for Cam to give back one to the youth? And that why wouldn't Cam have knowledge that could be passed on to these kids that didn't make it yet? Like what roadblock does Cam have that he can't pass on some of his tricks of the trade and his knowledge from being a 10+ year NFL quarterback, an NFL MVP, a Super Bowl participant? Why wouldn't he have some knowledge to pass on to the youth? I don't understand that.
Listen, I don't understand that neither. But let's just get to the sports point for a minute, right? For everything that you did in stepping over the line, cool. We call it competitive zeal. We can call it passion for the sports. Whatever you want to see. Did he jump? He dropped out again? Chris,
did he drop out?
I'm here.
I guess.
Wait, all right, he back.
Go ahead.
You good? All right.
Yeah.
But my thing is this: now that you done set the stage, you know the saying, pressure bust pipe. So you better be a Mario brother.
Better be.
You better be that nice, because people are gonna notice you for one or two things. Yeah, that's the kid that was talking to Cam. He's really good. Or yeah, that's the kid that was talking to Cam. Who's next? So you better be able to show up and
he said he on YouTube
now.
He said he on YouTube.
And the crazy thing is, I guarantee you got more traffic to YouTube than anything looking for this kid. But if people, especially this generation today, if they don't see you on YouTube doing your thing, it's going to cost you, buddy.
Well, so Stephen C said, I don't agree with what the kid said, but he was right. He said, or how he spoke to him. I guess Stephen was talking about Cam Newton not being as good as he once was. Okay. But again, even like Stephen, like I get you what you're saying, right? You know, you don't agree with what, you know, how Cam is playing. Okay, cool. That's your opinion. But it's a time and a place for everything, right? It's a time and a place for everything. Like, yeah, we don't have a million of views, but I'm not going to go here and say something outlandish just so people can click on our page of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast on Instagram, on Twitter, and Professional Sutton on YouTube. Plug. I'm not going to do that because.
Oh, hold on. I might say something wild, but I really mean that shit.
Right. But Chris,
I ain't saying it for clout. I ain't saying
that's true.
I really mean that shit in my heart.
But you won't say nothing distasteful that's going to make people like, damn, why did he say that? Like Chris, like you wilding. Like when you hear people say nasty, I'm talking about nasty stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we can say, yo, he stink. Like, I don't know boxing, but Chris could say that. But well, you know what I mean? He, you know, it's gonna be a wash or whatever. But Chris is never going to talk about another man personally that's going to say something outlandish just to try to get some views. Ruck is never going to come out his mouth and say something wow and talk about Kobe Bryant that he passed away just so he can try to get views. Now,
Meek Mill? Yo, hold on though. Sidebar real quick, yo. If Tommy's still in the building, can we get Tommy on towards the end of the show so we could talk Canelo? I would love to get into a little Canelo talk, Tommy.
If
you're free. If you're free. I ain't trying to put you on the spot. You run a successful boxing page. I know you a busy man.
Yeah.
You a busy man.
That's what softball tournament every year.
Every year.
You know
but
I mean?
if I could get a little bit of Tommy in here so we could talk some Canelo towards the end of the show, you know, I would love to get on that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna stay on this for about another few minutes, but I do want to talk boxing because I think that Chris has much knowledge about the game that I wish I knew, and I just like to listen to him. But he said, Stephen C said he didn't talk about his mother. The kid kept it football.
No, but he didn't keep it football.
He didn't.
Because he said
he
said you're gonna be poor. You don't have a job. You don't have a job and you're gonna be poor. That's not keeping it football.
That's not. And then my thing is this. Please understand this, and I hope everybody can agree with this fact. Whatever Cam's version of poor becomes, it's going to be way different than ours.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
Let's keep it 100. So, and again, it just goes further back to the point that this is what makes it even that much more wrong. Son, you trying to get to where he is.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
There's no other dispute none of that in it. Like you talking about, you ass, you poor, you about to be broke, you ain't got a job. Like,
Yo, can you pull that up? Ruck, I mean not Ruck. Quet, do you think you could pull that up so Steven C can see
yeah,
that
so he
part?
can see it because Cam's first response was especially when he said that he's poor, he said, "But I'm rich."
I'm gonna
You know
find
what I'm
it. I'm
He
gonna.
said, "Yo, where's your pop at? Where's your pappy?
Where
Where
your
your
daddy
mom?"
at? Where
You
your
know what I'm saying?
daddy at?
And the crazy thing about it, what Cam did is exactly what Marshawn Lynch did at one of his camps when the mother was going in. He said,
Oh
"Excuse me,
yeah.
ma'am." He said, "Where's your husband? Let me talk to him." You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot. At no way, if you're just keeping the sports, opinions aside, if you're an amateur trying to get to a professional level, it's way different. Like, if that was Pat Mahomes saying, "Yo, damn, you ass," Pat can say that because he got an MVP too, and he
Right,
just came off the
exactly.
Super Bowl. He can
Exactly.
say that. Carson Wentz can't even say that to Cam. "Yo, Cam, you ass." He can't say that neither. You know what I'm saying? So a kid that hasn't even made it to college yet can't say that to Cam.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Me too.
I agree with that. You can't, you haven't accomplished, and as good as you might be, you might not ever accomplish what Cam Newton has accomplished in his high school career, his college career, and his NFL career. You know what I mean? So I think my biggest disagreement with Steven C is, this is a longevity thing. Cam, it's a separate conversation about Cam's season last year that we can have, and it's debatable, and it could go either way. It really can. You could talk about how bad of a passer he was, but he was also 60. He also had a 66 completion percentage. You could talk about how many interceptions he had compared to how many throwing touchdowns he had, but he also had 12 rushing touchdowns, which led the league.
And
So you know what I mean?
Talk about how many yards he had on the ground, all
how many yards? That's what I'm saying. So me and Steven C and anybody who got like a problem with Cam's production last year, that's a real conversation we could have. That's a debate.
Absolutely.
That's a real debate. But for that kid, not a debate. That kid need to shut the F up forever.
And listen, I take it even a step further. Cam asked him, he said, "Oh, so y'all here and y'all doing what y'all need to do in the camp?" "Yeah." "Yo, what's y'all record?" "Oh, we 1-2."
Even
Bro, you supposed to be nice and y'all still your record is under 500 too at the camp.
Even his teammates like, "Yo, chill. Like, yo, relax. Even his teammates. So I'm gonna play the clip. I know Chris had to go handle the kids, but I was looking for my piece, so I don't gotta look crazy. But I'm just gonna play a little snippet of what was said during that clip. Listen, we do not own the rights to this. We're just using this for entertainment purposes. Oh yeah, so Steven, he didn't. So he said you about to be poor. You know what I mean? So that was not respectful at all. I mean, again, but like this is the time when we teach. This is the time we teach. Steven, again, I see what you're saying. You say, oh, okay, I agree with him, but Steven, but even if you agree with him, then that's when you take that kid to the side, like, yo, listen, you don't do that. You don't. That's another conversation because that kid's gonna think he can talk to anybody and everybody. And guess what he's gonna be? That kid is gonna be toxic on any team that he plays. Nobody's gonna want to do that.
The teachable moment, for one, it should not and does not need to start with the kid. The teachable moment needs to start with the adults that are around the kid, because how are you teaching the game that you say you love, that you say you have respect for, and your kids don't have respect for?
Well, wait, again, his coach was trying.
No. But see, that's the problem. That's the problem right there. His coach was trying. You know what my coach would have said? Take your stuff off, get to the bus.
Yeah, true.
Leave it here.
True.
Because here's the other thing that we have to understand, right? That If that kid talking to Cam Newton like that, how was he talking to the other coaches that he's with every day? When he has a problem. Me and you watched the game last night. Right? And we saw these kids all over the place on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So it needs to start with these adults that's raising up these kids in the first place. Like, no, you take this opportunity for what it is, young man. You're at a free camp, and guess what? The benefit of being at a free camp for something you love to do, you want to get an opportunity to be around one of the best that has played this game.
Yeah.
You approach him, yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right.
That's how you get it. You know what I'm saying? And again, like for me, in that stance, even in the early part of the clip, like where was one of the assistant coaches? Even if it wasn't a head coach, where was one of them that was talking to these kids? Like somebody, it should have been in that clip that you heard somebody say, "Watch your mouth."
Yes,
that's what
I agree with that.
And it didn't happen at all from no level. And no, I saw a comment earlier saying about one of the kids should have said something. No, we don't kind of want that in today's generation because that would have just been an all-out fight. But one of
it can't be any kid though. It's got to be a kid. It's got to be a kid that actually is respected. You know what I mean? A kid, you know, a star. You know, for lack of a better word, a star on that team. Somebody to be like, "Yo, fam, we're not doing that." A leader. You know what I mean? A young leader to be like, yo, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But unfortunately, I think he was the leader of that team.
I hope so.
Unfortunately, I think he was.
He was.
So you know what I mean? I think they follow him because even when his coach started talking to him, it wasn't like how one of our coaches would have talked to us if we got out of pocket with a grown man, especially somebody of Cam Newton's stature. It was kind of like, you know, hey man, like, you know, trying to protect his sensitive, fragile, millennial ego.
Get your ass out.
Like, you know what I mean? But we didn't grow up like even the stars on our team. I got rang out plenty of times.
Right.
Plenty of times. Like at halftime, on the sideline. Plenty of times, yo. Plenty of times. Like nobody was above getting that work.
Because Coach Ack would be like,
nobody.
Chris, who do you think you are? I don't give a damn how many yards you run. He said, I went 0-10 and I went 12-0. And let me tell you, I slept well for both of them. That's how I go.
Shout out to
Coach Ack,
bro, man. R.I.P. to my boy Nick.
Yes.
Nick Williams. I remember one time we had an all-nighter. And we had fun on that all-nighter too. And we came into the game. We was playing this team, Covington. I know you remember. And we should have been beating the brakes off of Covington at halftime, and we weren't because me and Nick was working off an hour's sleep. And you know, they say, let's just say we was drained. Let's just say that, right? And at the time, I had my own place. And we get to halftime, and they gave us a play. I think we were supposed to do like a 26 toss or something. Man, we did 28. Me and Nick went the total other way. Justin went to go toss it, and me and Nick was going the opposite way. So he wound up getting sacked instead of us getting a touchdown. At the end of the half, he wound up getting sacked. And Coach Ack, we coming off. He's like, you think I don't know what goes on at the gay estate? Obviously, I know what my last name is. And he just whole halftime, rang two of the best players on the team, the two star players on the team, just rang us out. Just Now we came back out. I think I finished that game with like $173 touchdown, but that's beside the point.
In one quarter.
That's beside the point. Yeah, that was just the third quarter, but that's beside the point. It was that the coach had our respect to lean into us, you know what I mean, when we was doing dumb kid shit. And, you know, I paid it back in the third quarter.
Yeah. Now, you know what? You know, I say that because, again, you know, Rucker was correct. You know, we was watching my nephew play. Shouts out to West Haven. They got a good win. But, you know, it was just some of the mechanics that I know Ty work on those kids with But kids going to be kids. Like they think that they know everything. It's like, yo, your coach didn't teach you that. So that's why some of them kids, Ty was like, all right, you gonna get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I didn't teach you that. You know what I mean? So stop trying to do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you got coaches who are like, well, listen, I'm famous. I don't want to say famous. I am where I am because of this kid. But it's like, no, you're the coach for this kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's equal. Like without you, this kid doesn't know how to properly shoot. This kid doesn't know how to pivot correctly. This kid doesn't know how to run a trap. You are the reason this kid is where he is. And I know we live in a time where you can't say nothing to kids, but guess what? If I'm your coach, if I can't say nothing to you, get your ass out of here. I don't give a damn. Get out of here. Because if I can't talk to you like this and help correct you on the field, then in life, oh, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
Imagine, and if you from Connecticut and the New Haven area, you know who he is. Imagine Coach J not being able to scream at you in a basketball game. Coach J was, and I love Coach J. But man, Coach J, yo, you ain't want no parts of Coach J when he was upset, yo. But he always was, first of all, trying to make you be a respectable young black man. I want to put that on that. Mm-hmm. He was big on that. And accountability. Mm-hmm. You need to be accountable for the things that you didn't do the right way. And that's what these kids need. You know what I mean? That's you know what? That's what a lot of people need, but past just kids. Accountability is a major part of being better than you were yesterday.
Yeah. And listen, I know Stephen C saying that these kids need to get whooped more. I mean, tomato, but I think it's just we live in a time where you could do dumb stuff and get away with it. Like you can say stupid stuff and people are like, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. And like Chris said, there's no more accountability. If you said something stupid, somebody's gonna pull you to the side and say, yo, listen, we're not doing that, fam. We're not doing that. You know what I mean? But because we live in a place where you say some people get sensitive, okay, cool.
Well, and it's not, and it's the sensitive part, and it's the social media fake tough.
Yeah,
you know, you got all these opinions. You know what I mean? It's just it plays a big part in how the young kids develop. Not all young kids though, because I've seen there's been some young kids that grew up in this era that are, man, they're on the rocket ship. They're superstars in the making. You know what I mean? But I think it's easier now with social media to have kids slip through the cracks and become young men and women that we know that they're better than. And coaching for us growing up in the inner city, coaching played a big part in that. You know what I mean? Coaches that cared about you and your well-being, tried to, step up for you when needed to be. Now, listen, I had great coaches, but I also had father figures at home, uncles, grandfathers, mothers, grandmothers. You know what I mean? Like, I had all of that. So, you know what I mean? I can't be like, well, I didn't have a good example. I had tons of good examples. And I also had the coaching. So it was hard to slip through the cracks. But, now, these days, it's even tougher. It's even tougher. So, I'm praying for these kids, man. They need to get their act together.
Ruck, you want to have a final say on this? Because I do want to shift to boxing. We got to get our boxing on.
Where Tommy at, though? I need Tommy. If Tommy ain't here, I don't want him.
Okay, let me text Tommy right now. Let me see.
No, listen, everything that Chris said, I agree with 100%. Not only because he's my brother, but because he's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. And until we realize that the mantle of accountability for these kids starts with us, the needle will never move.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get Tommy up here, man. Let me see. I'm sending him this invite right quick because I love to hear about some good boxing. I love to hear about some good boxing here.
Tecate.
There we go.
Tecate was on. He was on last night, man. He I mean, listen.
Let's shift the boxing now. Let's just shift.
He got a little bit of slack last night because he was fighting a guy that everybody knew he was gonna beat. but he handled his business. And yo, everybody got to fight mandatories, man. Like I hate. Listen, everybody know, man. I ain't no Canelo fan, but everybody got to fight mandatories, yo. If you want to keep your belts in boxing, sometimes they put you in a corner where it's like, not only do you have to pay us, because you do have to pay the sanctioning bodies like fees to keep the belt. Not only do you got to pay us, you got to fight the guy that we got next in line if you want to keep that belt and then unify it against somebody that we don't got in our ranks. It's a whole thing. So, you know what I mean? He had to fight him, and he did, and he whooped his ass, as he should. And, you know, he looked like a very, very dominant 168-pounder. And, you know, as I've been saying for a while, I honestly don't see anybody that can beat him 168 down. 175, maybe. But I still probably pick Canelo, honestly.
I just want to get to this comment real quick. Tommy is in the process of getting on. I'm just telling him what he needs to do.
Oh,
Steve,
all right, cool.
You guys know I have love for y'all. Got to keep it lit in here. Steven C, we know, baby. It's all.
Oh no, man! You know, listen. I love when somebody come with a point of view that I disagree with. You just bringing the best out of me. Now, see, that's real competitive.
Yeah.
Right there. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? We gonna get to it. We gonna argue, and then it's all gonna be love after. Now, you and Henny Bub, that's a different story.
Oh yeah, no.
That's a different story.
I'm trying to stop that. I don't want to see that.
That's a different story, man.
I don't want to see that. Yeah, you know I mean, I want to keep it classy in here. You know what I mean? Because that Don't Shoot the Messenger. We try to be as classy as we can. You know what I mean? Because you know we do got kids listening, and you know we try to be PC as possible, but sometimes we gotta keep it real. But
all right. First of all, I don't try to be PC as possible. I'm far from it.
Yes,
I don't think
because you had slowed down with cussing once him Bone was like, "Yo, why you always cussing?" And then you had chilled out on it.
Or but that was for him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That was for him, and then also for Uncle Juan, because Uncle Juan be trying to market us, and you know,
okay.
I be in these streets.
Hold on. I'm gonna give out. We got one of the legends here.
There we go. There we go.
You know what I mean? This man is the top Don Shata, you know. I mean? He's the man. You turn on your TV down in the background.
Yeah, that echo is heavy.
I think he gets it.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, just turn your TV down in the back.
The echo heavy.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's out now. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I still can hear it. Here we go.
Yeah, it's a little delay.
So if y'all don't know, we're gonna talk about some boxing here. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna talk about some good old boxing. Tommy, can you hear us, man?
I can hear you loud and clear. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, listen, It is an honor to have you, man. We've been trying to get you on for a while. I know you busy. Let me tell you something about Tommy, man. Tommy rich, okay? You know what I mean? But one thing about Tommy, he gonna come in with the classiest car. He's one of the most modest guys. Let me get y'all so y'all can see what he looked like. He's cool. You know, he still got an iPhone 2. But when I say, this guy's a real Don Dada.
I wish.
That's what he is. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. But let's get straight to the point because I have my Sunday cooking going on right now, some rice and peas. So I got to get back to that.
Okay.
You do a spectacular job with the boxing, Chris. Let's talk about Canelo, as you mentioned. Canelo right now is a face in boxing. He's top dog without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Can't argue that.
People get on him because, like you said, his fight is mandatory. Bernard Hopkins fought all his mandatory. Roy Jones fought all his mandatory.
All his mandatories.
You got to.
You got to fight your mandatories. Like
you got to. Now we're bringing on Billy Joe Saunders. Now we're bringing on Billy Joe. Billy Joe deserves his ass, but Chris, I'll say it on the show today. I bet you Billy Joe don't make that fight. I bet you he don't make weight. I bet you he gets sick. I bet you something happens after what he saw last night.
I think Billy Joe is. How can I put this? It's always something with Billy Joe.
He's known to put on big fights. He's known.
He and it's like it's been times in his career where he wants the big fight, but then even when he wanted Triple G, all of this, he wants Triple G. Then he finally got in position. All of a sudden, he don't want Triple G no more.
Either he had weight issues.
And then he have the PED.
dirty urine.
So, listen, I'll believe the Billy Joe Saunders fight when I see it. I much rather see him fight in this order.
Andre, I want to see Billy Joe fight.
You want to see Boo Boo?
Andre cannot get a fight. Andre cannot get a fight. He offered $3 million to fight Canelo. $3 million to fight Canelo. That's what Andre said live on the broadcast when he fought. Oh my gosh, when he fought his last fight. Oh, I had his name written. Oh.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. But do you think that Boo Boo could even beat Canelo? Is the question.
I don't think he could beat him, but remember, slick fighters. Remember, Laura won that fight against Canelo.
He 100%. Laura 100% won that fight.
We seen what Floyd did. These slick fighters, but again, this is not the same Canelo we talked about before. This is Canelo 2.0.
This is Canelo 2.0.
So,
but I don't see Boo Boo. Boo Boo is a slick fighter, but I don't think he that slick. I don't think he Laura slick, and I don't think he's Floyd Mayweather slick either. So I don't like Boo Boo chances. I like the only people. Here's my take on Canelo. I'm not a huge Canelo fan, but I 100% agree. He's the number one boxing guy. He's the face of boxing. He's the money man. He is the holy trinity in boxing right now.
Facts.
Bringing somebody that I think can beat him. I think a slick speed guy could beat him if there was one good enough at or around his weight. I don't see none that's good enough at or around his weight.
At 175. Arthur Beterbiev gives that fucker hell.
Well, but see, at 175, oh no, you can cuss. I cuss all the time. No, at 175, I agree that I do think Bivinoff and Bivol too. I think either one of those two dudes could fight him. But see, at that point, I think they're bigger. Yeah, a lot bigger. Because
he moved up to fight the weak link, Kovalev. He moved up to fight the weak link.
Yeah, like Kovalev was so washed at that point. Like he was, if this was like in his prime Kovalev, that would have been a different fight. Exactly. He would have been hunting him down. But Kovalev had been, Andre Ward took something away from Kovalev that he never got back.
And I don't know if you agree with me, but Kovalev won that first fight against Andre Ward.
Oh, I didn't even think that was a debate. I think they gave him a gift. I thought they gave him a gift. Listen, I love Andre Ward, but Andre Ward didn't do enough to win that fight. He was competitive. He showed a heart of a champion. I won't take those things away from him. But Kovalev had that fight in the bag by the 7th round. Exactly. That fight was on points. You couldn't win that fight. But
piggybacking back on Canelo, that's what makes Canelo so amazing. We're talking about from almost 3 or 4 weight classes, from 160 to 175. We're trying to find somebody to beat this guy. That's
the Floyd problem, right?
Right there. That's some Sugar Ray Robinson shit.
Yeah, that's a problem that Floyd started to have. They kept saying, they kept trying to move him up. All right, man, go up higher, so we could finally find somebody that could, stop you. And
Floyd got
at 175, there's a couple guys.
Floyd got very strategic. Remember, when Paul Williams was cutting him down at 147, 154, he kind of avoided that Paul Williams and lefty who was about 64.
I keep telling Quet and Ruck, I brung this name up how many times? I said, listen, I'm not saying that Floyd couldn't beat Paul Williams, but Paul Williams was going to be a struggle. A 6-foot welterweight that throw 1,000 punches a fight was going to be a problem for Floyd. So, so I think at the end of the day, I do agree if we went all the way up to light heavyweight, but after last night, he seems like he feels 168 is his weight. I think he's gonna stay there.
Let's keep it 100 though. The guy who he beat last night, I can never pronounce his name. He got knocked out in the first round by Chris Eubanks Jr. And he went,
I know.
Well, oh gosh, Anthony Durrell. We saw Durrell have a draw last night with a fighter.
I know.
But it was his mandatory though. It was his WB mandatory.
It wasn't mandatory. I didn't take nothing away because I was just like, it's his mandatory. He said he want to unify. If you want to unify, you got to do it. It is what it is. We all knew it was an in between fight. It was what it was. Like, so I'm not taking no points away from Canelo for that. But what I was gonna say, at 168, who I want to see him fight is in this order: Caleb Plant. And I do think Canelo would beat Caleb Plant. But I like Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant has no pop. He has no pop.
He don't have no pop. But I like Caleb Plant, so I would like to see him. The person who I do think, though,
Benavidez.
Benavidez, exactly. David Benavidez is huge. Huge. And he got, it's like, he's this weird mix. Like, I feel like he's slow in movement, but his hands is fast.
Yes, yes.
Them hands is fast. And David Benavidez will knock you into another dimension.
But
I want to see.
He's another fighter who has a lot of outside of the ring issues. Cocaine, can't make. He lost his belt twice. He lost the belt twice on the scales. How do you lose a belt twice? You win it back and you lose again on the scales?
Because as Rick James,
can't make weight.
as Rick James said, Rick James said, cocaine is a hell of a drug. So
hell of a drug.
I'm not surprised that he couldn't make weight, but that's the thing. A problem for Canelo, David Benavidez, would be somebody who wants to literally stay in the pocket with him and go, hey, let's see what happens.
And the crazy thing is that if I had to bet, I'm betting my money on Canelo.
Of course. That's why I keep telling I said, listen, there's fights that I want to see. There's people that's got chances, but there's nobody that I would pick over Canelo. Even if we went up to 175 and we got Bivol
or Beterbiev and those guys,
I'm still picking Canelo because I learned my lesson in the Triple G fight. Because the Triple G won, I said,
Triple G won. Had Triple G winning that fight,
of course,
the first one.
And I said to myself, if you're gonna beat Canelo, you got to knock him out. And that motherfucker got a beard on him. He got a beard. It's gonna be hard to knock him out.
He got a chin.
At that point, because I felt like the second fight was a draw. The first fight, though, I thought Triple G clearly won. And I said, you know what? If you can't win a fight like that against him, and then I also had to think back, even when Floyd thoroughly dominated him, one judge had it 114-114.
Of course. So I said, it was a split decision. That was a split decision. People don't remember that. It was a split decision, that fight.
Majority decision.
Majority decision.
And people forget that. And I go, you know what? It let me know. Just like when Floyd was the king, you're not beating him on decision. You're not. So if you're not beating him on decision, you got to knock him out. And just like Floyd has a chin. Only been rocked. I think he only rocked 3 times in his whole career. Mosley rocked him. Dude from back in the day. I'm escaping his name. This was
Chop
Curly. Chop
Curly.
Curly.
He's still fighting. He's still fighting at 46. He's fighting.
I know he's still fighting, which is crazy.
Yeah, you got to eat.
Chop, and Maidana stunned him at the end of a round with a late punch.
Knocked out his tooth. Knocked out his tooth.
Had him wobbly. Like if you would have caught him during the fight with that could have been a problem. But that's the only 3 times I ever even seen Floyd dazed. I think Canelo got dazed against somebody's younger brother. Was it like Cotto's brother or something like that? It was like a boxer's brother that he fought on the come up that had Canelo in all kinds of trouble. They was about to call the fight.
That was like his third. That was like his second fight on HBO.
Yeah, like his second fight on HBO. That's the only time I ever seen him wobble.
His nickname was the Red-Headed Mexican.
Yeah, back then. So it's the only time I ever even seen him wobbled, and I seen Triple G catch him with a clean overhand, and he took it good. So I don't know, man. I've accepted the fact that Canelo is going to be the king until he's gone, and that's just it. That's just
he's only 30 years old. He's only 30 years old. He has over 50 fights at 30 years old. Yeah. You know what it is? It's like the debate. You have Chavez Sr. being Jordan, and you have Canelo being LeBron.
Yep. But here's my thing. You're right. And just like LeBron and Jordan, I look at LeBron's resume and I look at Canelo's resume. And even though I feel like he caught a lot of fighters at the end. He caught like Shane Mosley and Miguel, all those really big names. He caught them at the end of their career, but he got them on his resume. And at the end of the day, when you start and you look back at it, you're going to forget that this was, not the prime name. You're just going to go, oh, he's got them on his resume.
But he's taking like the guy who I was talking about was Colin Smith. He's catching these guys down there. Colin Smith won the world championship of boxing.
You're right.
He held the mighty
was the guy.
He beat his brother.
Smith
then he beat him.
Yes. You're right. Smith was the guy that everybody kept saying, well, if you're going to fight at 168, you got to fight at the Colin Smith. And that was Smith.
Smith won it.
He dominated him.
It was in the fight.
And it wasn't close. It wasn't even a fight. It wasn't. That's why I look at him and I go, what can I'm like, I can't pick. I wish I had some. I wish Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford were a little bigger. Then I could be like, I know I got the guy, but they're not. And it is what it is, man. I gotta just sit and suffer.
I don't know how much time we have, but I really feel deep inside that I know we're going to a different topic that Spence is ducking Crawford. When you go to a guy and say, hey, we're going to go 60-40, come on now. Let's be real. Come on now.
Okay, see, I'm on the other side of this. Now we got something to debate because I'm on the other side of this. I don't know why Terrence Crawford thinks he's the bigger draw.
Yeah.
He's not the big. Spence is a far bigger draw. He is the A side. So 60-40 to me with Spence is a gift because, listen, now this is no fault of Terrence, but Terrence signing with Bob Arum hurt him. It's like he doesn't realize that or he doesn't want to accept it because of all of the work he did at 140, which obviously was great work. But you're at 147 now. All the 147 guys is over there, and he can get them whenever he wants. He can skyrocket his name whenever he wants. He's beating the bigger names at 147. He's been on pay-per-view. I haven't seen Terrence Crawford on pay-per-view since he was in 140. Everything he do is on ESPN for free. Spence is the guy. And even though I think it's a 50-50 fight, I gotta side with Errol Spence saying, look, I'm the money man, I'm the A side, I'm the lion. You gotta, if you want to do business with me, you gotta capitulate.
You know what my counter is? My counter is this. When you look at resumes, the reason why Spence has that resume is because, like you said, PBC has those 147 fighters, right?
Just very true.
But to contrary, the last time someone unified a 135 and 140 division was Crawford. So Crawford has the accolades. Crawford beat guys who were undefeated. Crawford made these guys look very average. And after defeating them, they were never the same. Like he stopped these guys. He didn't just like go 12. He stopped guys who were undefeated who had belts.
Yeah.
My thing is that 60.
I can't take that away from Crawford. That's why at 135 and 140, I feel like he's living off of that. Because at 147, he hasn't fought a guy that I'm like, listen, you can only fight who's in front of you. So I don't penalize him. But also I go, listen, at 147, I haven't seen you fight a real, like in his prime, legit guy. Like I haven't seen you fight a Sean Porter. I'm not a big Danny Garcia guy, but Danny Garcia is still in his prime. I haven't seen you fight a Danny Garcia.
Okay, I got a perfect example.
I need to see it.
Why did Manny leave Top Rank?
Because he didn't want to fight Terrence Crawford. I'm not debating that. But Manny been struggling to be a 147er his whole life. He really still a 140. That's why he can still make it.
He went to 140. He crossed the fence and stopped one of their top dogs. He didn't stop him. He beat Thurman.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So my thing is that when you have these boxing politics and you're saying, hey, guess what? You can't fight him. You can't fight him because of sanctions. I think it's bullshit because Bob Arum did you ever see the YouTube flick where both Spence and Crawford are together and they're talking in Texas?
Yeah, and they're talking. Yeah,
he
I see.
Called over Bob and said, Bob, make the contract now. He said, okay, it's easy. Let me just call
Al Heyman.
Let me call Al Heyman. And Spence was like, no, get a belt. Or no, Spence was trying to
listen
that conversation.
Well, because listen, I under from the Floyd Mayweather school of thought, if we're gonna make this fight, it's got to be as big as it can be. You know what I mean? We don't make this fight for peanuts. But here's what I'm not gonna do. I am not gonna act like Bob Arum is this willing participant. I don't believe a word Bob Arum says. Even when if he was hooked up to a lie detector test and it was coming out true, I don't believe a word Bob Arum said.
You don't remember
Bob
his
Arum
famous
is
quote?
so full of shit. Say it again.
You don't remember his famous quote? Yesterday I lied, but today I'm telling the truth. Remember his famous quote?
I don't believe exactly. And that's how I feel about Bob Arum. Every time he says, this, that, and the third is their side. Listen, we all know that Al Heyman and Bob Arum don't like each other. Everybody knows that. So for him to always say like, it's just their side, I always believe that's bullshit. Because we know y'all both don't like each other, so you guys will nitpick off of any little thing. I feel like it's just as much Al Heyman as it is Bob Arum when it comes to making a deal for them two to fight.
I kind of disagree because when Fury fought Wilder, Fury was part of Top Rank USA for that fight to happen. But again, like as you mentioned, it was the biggest fight out there, so that's why probably Bob
exactly.
and Heyman came together to make that money.
It was so big. It was the biggest heavyweight. You couldn't avoid it. So you had to do business. And I don't feel that Terrence, even though I feel like Terrence and Spence are the two best welterweights. I don't feel like it's so big and so lucrative that you can't avoid it. Because I mean, I don't want to dig into Terrence Crawford's pockets, but what's his biggest payday? Maybe like 3-4 million.
I think maybe his biggest payday was probably against Khan. I'm being real, keep it real. I think it was against Khan.
Yeah, probably against Khan because Khan was the biggest name.
Yeah.
So I know Spence has made at least 10 off of that
Mikey Garcia
pay-per-view. Yeah.
You think off of the Mikey Garcia?
Off that pay-per-view, that Mikey Garcia pay-per-view. So I know he's looking at it as I'm trying to make bigger money than that if I'm gonna fight, because I don't think there's any question.
The risk.
That's a risk. That's a danger. That's a 50. Any 50-50 fight is a risk or danger.
And I think Crawford wins that fight.
It depends for me. It depends. Like if it becomes who got outdog the other, then I like Spence. I like Spence.
Dog Crawford?
If it comes, and I know Crawford is the dog. I know Crawford is the dog. I know he is the dog. But I feel like if it just comes that, only because I feel like Spence is the bigger, stronger guy. If it comes to we just gonna see who can outdog each other, I'm gonna go with Spence. But from a technical standpoint, I just feel like Crawford is. I don't want to say he's far more superior, but I just think that there's a gap in between from a technical standpoint how much better Crawford is than Spence. That's where I'm at on the fight. And I know Crawford is a dog. He is a dog. He gets mean in there with the best of them. But I always remember when I realized how much of a dog Spence was in that Kell Brook fight over in England when he was against the ropes. He was losing.
Thank you.
He was losing.
When Kell Brook's face exploded, that's when everything changed.
Well, why his face exploded? Because Spence said, fuck this. He just sat down on him and he just laid it on him.
We got a question for y'all once y'all get done. I just want y'all.
I saw that with Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah, we was talking about that earlier. We was talking about that when we was talking about Canelo in the first.
He was ducked. He was ducked by Lara. He was ducked by both of the Charlos.
Yep, both the Charlos.
It's hard for him to get a fight because of his skill set. He's a skill fighter. He's not going to go out there and slug with you. He's going to beat you in a technical fight. And a lot of these guys can't fight technical no more. They don't want to go 12 rounds. They want to stand there and slug. And that's why a lot of guys at that weight class
don't want to go 12 rounds. Yeah, he's one of those. He's kind of like how Lara was when Lara was more in his prime. Nobody wanted to fight him. It was just like, why would I want to fight this guy? He's going to make it difficult. It's going to be sloppy. Well, not sloppy for him, but sloppy for me. And he's going to be hard to hit because, I think Lara kind of exposed, we talked about it earlier when he fought Paul Williams.
Oh, I was just about to say that. I saw that fight on Friday Night
robbery.
Yep. That's the first time I saw
robbery
Lara.
Yep. That's the first time I saw. I mean, literally kept that jab in front of Paul the whole fight. He couldn't do nothing. How he got a dub off of that get into boxing politics, and that is what it is. But yeah. I think he kind of put himself in one of those holes. It's like, I'm not fighting that guy. I'm not fighting that guy. So it is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm glad we finally got you on to talk some.
Hey, Chris, thank you so much. Hey, thank you, Mark, for getting me on. I appreciate it so much.
I appreciate
we need to have another session. My rice and peas is probably burning right now. I got to get back to it. Hey, thanks again.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate you. Hey, man, I was back here cheesing like a Chester cat because I love when they talk boxing.
It's so listen, I love y'all. I really do. But it's so good to talk boxing with another dude that know boxing like me. I ain't gonna lie. It's like when I'm talking football and basketball with y'all, man. We just all on the same point, and it just feel good. And when you talk with another dude with boxing, man, that knows all of the stuff that can remember all of that stuff. It's great. I appreciate y'all giving me the time to kind of fan out like that.
I know my lane. Boxing is not my lane. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hold on. Let me unmute Ruck. Okay, you got to unmute it, Ruck. You got to unmute your mic.
Well, listen.
Got it.
All right, there you go. Boxing is y'all lane. Don't die. Boxing is y'all lane. Y'all can talk boxing.
Sort
of. Talk boxing. Y'all just
don't aficionados.
Yes. Listen. Here we go, Chris. Here we go. Here is my boxing lane. I'm on the Merritt Parkway from New Haven to Milford. That's it. That's it. I can't get on 95.
Y'all better than that. Y'all better. It's all about recalling. certain fights and
sort of
styles that makes things. That's the kind of stuff you get in when you talk with another boxing aficionado. I mean, if you was really the man, you get Max Kellerman up here, and I could fanboy out a little bit, but that's another.
You know what? Let's see what I can do, Chris. Let me see who I know that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Get my boy back. Get my boy Max up here.
Pilot.
You know what I'm saying? Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. But that's in the works. That's in the works. But listen, fellas, I had a great time. I think this was a great show. I think this show was a show that needs to be said. And now when people ask me about podcasting, this is what podcasting is about. It's just your opinion and you talking about issues that you want to talk about. And I know we could do the updates on basketball and talk about what's going on, but sometimes you got to talk about some issues that need to be addressed. And to have 3 black fathers on the show talk about that, I think that was very poignant and that needed to happen. Stephen C., I appreciate you as always. Again, that's your opinion. You know what I mean? We're not saying that you sound crazy. Yes, we are. But what we're saying was that you can have an opinion.
With love, though.
And with love. You know what I'm saying? We have an opinion with love. And, shouts out to everybody that was tuning in. And like I said, shouts out to Tommy. I had a great time, man. You know what I mean? Like, I could do this.
Yo, Henny, what type of sub you want, son?
Steak and cheese.
He's still up here?
Steak and cheese.
Steak and cheese, Henny.
But with that being said, fellas, anything else you guys want to talk about or, say before we wrap up? Well, yeah. You know what? Chris, I'll start with you, but you know what we got to do before we end. So.
Oh, boy.
Say word?
Yeah.
Anything I got to say? Nah, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, it is that time. It's another.
Watch WandaVision.
Okay. Yeah. What I'm gonna do right after this.
I told Ruck was shaky on the first 2 episodes. He was like,
you was right, son. I had to stay with it.
Time.
Once I stayed with it, that joint bubble for real.
He kept saying after episode 3 it gets better, or around.
I said after 3, fam. I was like, they just trying to give you a whole picture. Oh yeah, we could talk 135. I got some issues at 135. Okay, I got some real issues at 135. Yeah. I can't wait.
Can't wait for that. Well, it's that time where we give you, since it's Sunday, we want to feed your soul. You got to feed your soul spiritually, but also mentally as well. And that's why our deacon brother, Deshaun Aloquacious, Latron Rucker, is on to give us
for the city. Now, what's going on, people? As you know, this is Say Word. So in this week's version of Say Word, I wanted to say, where we kind of been during this whole pandemic with just improving ourselves, right? So the quote of this week is this: exposure breeds expansion. Shout out to I Am an Athlete. Shout out to the OG Fred Taylor. Exposure breeds expansion. It's time that we start getting away from what we've been taught, what we believe, what we even think right now is the right way, and start to get into new schools of thought that are so far left of what we ever thought, but could potentially change our lives. Because if you want the same, you'll get the same. If you want the new version, if you want the better version, you'll do differently. So exposure breeds expansion. Get with it, people. Like I always say, think big. And most importantly, man, just be easy. I can't hear nothing you saying. But
I needed that. Definitely needed that. Well, listen, man, we're going to wrap it up. And we want to thank everyone for tuning in to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, The Ruck Report, Jersey.
Peace. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy, Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy, Chris G.
And it's your boy, The Ruck Report, a.k.a. Jersey.
Ready? This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
This is Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
X about me. about me.
With Professional Sutton,
You already know.
Chris G,
My homie.
and the Rucker Report.
My family, what up? They for real.
All straight with no chaser.
Let the games begin.
Let's go.
Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.